Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating figures. I'm your host, General Biography. Today we're going to explore the life of Marcus Crassus the Younger, a Roman general and statesman who played a pivotal role in shaping the fate of the Roman Republic. Marcus Crassus the Younger was born in 54 BCE into a world of privilege and expectation. His family, the Licinii Crassi, were one of the most influential and wealthy families in Rome. His father, Marcus Crassus, was a renowned general and politician who had amassed a vast fortune through his military campaigns and business ventures. Growing up in the Crassus household, young Marcus was surrounded by the trappings of power and wealth. The family's estate, located on the Quirinal Hill in Rome, was a grand affair, with beautifully manicured gardens, ornate fountains, and stunning views of the city. It was here that Marcus spent his early years, learning the values of discipline, duty, and ambition from his father. Marcus's education was typical of a young Roman aristocrat. He studied rhetoric, philosophy, and literature under the tutelage of some of the finest minds in Rome. His teachers included the famous orator and statesman, Cicero, who would later become a close friend and ally. Marcus proved to be a diligent student, quickly mastering the skills of public speaking, writing, and critical thinking. The historical context of Marcus's early years was marked by significant events that shaped his character and future path. The late Republic was a time of great turmoil, with rival factions vying for power and influence. The first triumvirate, which included his father, had dominated Roman politics since 60 BCE, but their alliance was beginning to fray. In 53 BCE, when Marcus was just 1 year old, his father embarked on an ill-fated campaign against the Parthian Empire. The disastrous defeat at Carrhae, where his father met his end, would leave a lasting impact on the young Marcus. This event not only shaped his ambitions, but also instilled in him a deep-seated desire to redeem his family's honor and to succeed where his father had failed. As we explore the early life of Marcus Crassus the Younger, it becomes clear that he was born into a world of privilege and expectation. His family's wealth and influence had set him on a path towards greatness, but it was his own character and determination that would ultimately shape his destiny. The experiences of his formative years, including his education, family life, and the significant events of the time, had prepared him for the challenges he would soon face. Marcus's relationship with his father was particularly significant in shaping his early years. His father's military campaigns and business ventures often took him away from home, leaving Marcus in the care of his mother, Tertulla. Despite his father's absence, Marcus remained deeply devoted to him, and his father's legacy would continue to influence him throughout his life. The Quirinal Hill, where the Crassus family estate was located, was a hub of social and political activity. The hill was home to many of Rome's most influential families, including the noble families of the Julii and the Claudii. It was here that Marcus would have encountered some of the most prominent figures of his time, including Julius Caesar, who would later become a close ally. His upbringing, education, and the significant events of his formative years had prepared him for the journey ahead. As Marcus Crassus the Younger entered adulthood, he found himself at the forefront of Roman politics and warfare. His family's influence and wealth had afforded him numerous opportunities, but it was his own character and determination that propelled him towards greatness. One of his earliest notable endeavors was his involvement in the Roman Civil War, where he sided with Julius Caesar against Pompey the Great. This alliance would prove pivotal in shaping Marcus's future, as he quickly rose through the ranks to become one of Caesar's most trusted generals. Marcus's military campaigns are a testament to his strategic brilliance and adaptability on the battlefield. He played a crucial role in several key battles, including the Battle of Pharsalus, where Caesar's forces decisively defeated Pompey's army. Marcus's leadership and tactical prowess were instrumental in securing this victory, which cemented Caesar's position as the dominant force in Roman politics. In addition to his military achievements, Marcus Crassus the Younger was also deeply involved in shaping Roman politics. He served as a quaestor and later as a tribune, using these positions to advocate for the interests of the common people and to challenge the power of the aristocracy. His political acumen and oratory skills allowed him to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined Roman politics, earning him both admiration and enemies. Marcus's relationship with Julius Caesar was particularly significant in this period. The two men shared a deep respect for one another, with Caesar recognizing Marcus's exceptional abilities as a military commander and politician. This alliance would ultimately prove fateful, as Marcus became embroiled in the conspiracy that led to Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE. In the aftermath of Caesar's death, Marcus Crassus the Younger found himself at the center of a maelstrom of political intrigue and violence. He aligned himself with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's most powerful generals, and together they sought to avenge their mentor's death and restore order to Rome. However, this alliance would ultimately prove doomed, as the forces of Octavian and Brutus clashed in a series of bloody battles. The Battle of Philippi in 42 BCE marked a turning point in Marcus's life as he faced off against the forces of Brutus and Cassius. Despite being outnumbered, Marcus's tactical genius and bravery allowed him to hold his own against the enemy. But ultimately, the battle was lost and Marcus was forced to flee. As we explore the primary achievements of Marcus Crassus the Younger, it becomes clear that he was a complex figure, driven by a mix of ambition, loyalty, and a desire for redemption. His life was marked by both triumph and tragedy as he navigated the treacherous landscape of Roman politics and warfare. Through his military campaigns, political maneuvering, and personal relationships, Marcus left an indelible mark on the course of Roman history. The Battle of Philippi in 42 BCE marked a significant turning point in Marcus's life, as he was forced to flee and confront the reality of his situation. With his ally Mark Antony, he attempted to regroup and launch a counterattack against the forces of Octavian and Brutus. However, despite their bravery, they were ultimately unable to overcome the superior numbers and strategic positioning of their enemies. As the years passed, Marcus Crassus the Younger found himself increasingly isolated and marginalized. His association with Mark Antony, who was now seen as a rival to Octavian's growing power, made him a target for suspicion and hostility. Despite his efforts to navigate this treacherous landscape, Marcus ultimately found himself on the wrong side of history. In 31 BCE, Marcus Crassus the Younger faced off against the forces of Octavian in the Battle of Actium. Although he fought valiantly, the battle was a decisive defeat for Mark Antony and his allies, and Marcus was forced to flee once again. This time, however, there would be no escape. As Octavian's forces closed in, Marcus Crassus the Younger made the ultimate sacrifice, taking his own life rather than surrendering to his enemies. It was a tragic end to a life that had been marked by both triumph and tragedy, as he struggled to come to terms with the legacy of his family and the consequences of his own actions. In reflecting on Marcus Crassus the Younger's life, it becomes clear that his story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition and the corrupting influence of power. His rise to greatness was marked by a series of calculated risks and strategic alliances, but ultimately, these same factors contributed to his downfall. And yet, despite the tragic circumstances of his death, Marcus Crassus the Younger's legacy endures. His bravery, loyalty, and unwavering commitment to his principles continue to inspire us to this day, serving as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, we must remain true to ourselves and our values. As the Roman historian Tacitus once wrote, "The bravest are surely those who have the clearest vision of what is before them, glory and danger alike, and yet notwithstanding, go out to meet it." Marcus Crassus the Younger embodied this spirit of courage and determination, and his story will continue to captivate and inspire us for generations to come. In conclusion, our journey through the remarkable story of Marcus Crassus the Younger has come full circle. From his privileged upbringing to his rise as a Roman general and statesman, and ultimately to his tragic downfall, we have seen a complex figure driven by a mix of ambition, loyalty, and a desire for redemption. As we reflect on his life, we are reminded that true greatness is not measured by our achievements alone, but by the character and principles that guide us along the way. As the great Roman statesman Cicero once said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Marcus Crassus the Younger's life may have been marked by tragedy and defeat, but his legacy will continue to rise above the ashes of history, inspiring us with its enduring principles of leadership, courage, and determination. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the remarkable story of Marcus Crassus the Younger. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.